Hello everyone, my name is Cristian Niculescu. You know me for a lot of automation with UiPath. I did a lot of stuff with ChatGPT and SAP in the last part. Today we'll talk about SAP OData, and we'll talk about how we connect to an SAP OData system on a SAP cloud. So I have an SAP cloud system, SAP 4HANA, S4HANA, and we'll see how we'll connect via OData. To be able to connect via OData to this one, you have to configure SAP. So to be able to configure SAP, I will use ChatGPT. And on the main stuff that you need to know is that you need a user that it's administrator or it's BR config expert to be able to configure for you the SAP HANA, yeah. And he has to configure this stuff, so has to access this elements. So you need to the connection to this app. When you go to SAP HANA, you know that you can search here and you have different apps, yeah. So you need to have access to you need to have access to communication system, communication agreements, and communication user. You have to configure all this stuff, and you will get a user. After you get that user, you will be able to connect to all data. Okay, from the UiPath point of view, here on the integration service, you have the OData connection. So on the OData connection, you see that I have multiple connections. One is for C4C that I showed last time, and for HANA I have multiple connections. So take a look here, what I have on this connection. So if I go with this one and say edit connection, you will see that inside of the connection I have like this. I select that as HANA. I put the URL site of my SAP. So this is my cloud version of the SAP. Yeah. Then I have to put the service. So in case of purchase orders, it's API purchase orders service. Then I put the username and the password. Okay. The username and the password that I say it's configured on that stuff. So it's configured on this communication user. So you'll not log in with your user. You'll log in with this communication user. If I want to work, so that was for purchase order. If I want to work with I think here is business materials, so products, materials that I have inside. If I want, so for each type of service, I have to define a connection and define that type of service, okay? So this is for business materials, and these are for business category or something like this, yeah? Yeah, purchase category, purchase category. So depends on what category I want to work, I will go and use this type of connection. So on the connection, you will define also the service that you want to use. Okay, so we'll go for the purchase order and we'll see how we work with the purchase order. Yeah, so I will use the connection with the purchase order on my SAP HANA. And I will go first with so you know that inside of the UiPath Studio, you can go here and select, as I showed you last time, you write OData, and you have SAP OData, and we have this function, um, list of entity of the records, get records, insert records, update, delete, and HTTP request. Today I will show you just the get stuff, and maybe I will show you HTTP request. So I already have the workflows to be faster. And let's go with this one. Get all the PO. So what I do, I go here, I select my connection that it's for PO, a user at PO. Then I say that the entity that I want to work with orders, because you can work with orders, you can work with items. Work with not so. There are different stuff. I say that I want to expand this to item order. I can put here filter, but I don't want to put a filter. This will return me a variable. And on this variable, I will put a for each, yeah? And here I will display my PO orders. And on the PO orders, I configure here that what I want to display. If I go to my SAP HANA, let's see, manage purchase order, You will see that if I go here, I have, I think, 4 purchase order, yeah? So what I will display from this purchase order? So I will display the purchase order, the type of the purchase order, which is standard. I think everything will standard. The supply plant. So we have the supply plant that is somewhere here. I think it's 7010 from United States. Then I will show the purchase order status. Then I will show the supplier, the current the net payment days and the net payment days. Yes. So this is 10. This is the supplier. This is domestic. The plant it should be this one and so on. So let's run it and let's see what is displaying. Yeah. Let's hit save. Let's test run. And let's see what is displaying, and we'll make a connection with what I have in our SAP. So you see, we have four. We have four purchase order. All they are standard. It's from the same plant. Here the supplier is different. So on this one, which one is different? And here it's the date. Yeah, so the date it's different. Let's go to see the supplier. So here this one has the supplier domestic with 001, and in the number with 01, the supplier with 10. Yeah, the supplier is domestic supplier 10. Okay. So he was able to display all this data from SAP, and you have to search on the objects to be able to display other stuff. Now, this is how I get the list of purchase order. You can get the list of all the records, depend on what you connect. In my case, I connect to the purchase order. If I connect to other stuff, I will get the list of other objects. Now let's go and see how I get the details from a purchase order. To be able to get the details from a purchase order, I will go here and we'll have get record. On the get record, we'll have I have to select the connection. Yeah. So I have to select the connection, and I select this connection with purchase order. Then the subject here will be purchase order, and I will put the number of the order, and then I will get and I will display let's see what I display here. I display the supplier and the company code. And then I will say again get record, and on this get record I will say that I want items. Yeah. So when I say item, the system will know, and he will ask me the purchase order and the item number. And take a look. If I go to this one, you will see that I have two purchase order. I have two items on this purchase order. So it's an item with the supplier 10. And I have two items that are 10 and 20. And here on when I say get record, I say the number of the purchase order and I say the item. The item is 10. Yeah. And on the item, I display let's see what I select to display here. I display the material group, the order quantity, and the net amount of price. Let's run this stuff and let's see. Let's see what the system display for me. So first, he identified the purchase order, and this is the supplier and the plant. So we have the supplier, this one, and the plant is this one, code for the plant. And then I will display from the first material. I displayed TG11, the group of materials, 6 is probably the quantity, and 13.5, it's the net price. So net price, quantity, TG11, and group of material. Yeah? So in this way, you see that I'm able to display all the details from a purchase order and from an item. Good. Let's go and see another stuff. So the other stuff that I will show you today, it's how you call HTTP request. So on each disconnection, you are able to call an HTTP request over the connection, and you have the connection from the integration service. So take a look on what I will do here. I will create a purchase order. So on this one, I say URL, I say that it's a post, and here I have to provide him a structure. I have the JSON. So believe me that here is the JSON, but I want to show you the JSON, this one. So take a look. Here we have the standard PO, the supplier, the purchase order, the group of the purchase order. Then the item will be 10 with TG10, net price 12, 100 quantity. Then I have to provide him the schedule, the date, and the order quantity. Yeah, and the delivery date. I think this one is not mandatory, but the delivery date is mandatory. Okay, so let's modify something. Let's see if we have the supplier 5. Let's go in SAP, and let's go here on the suppliers. And let's see on the suppliers if we have another supplier. Let's put it with, like I said, with I will put it here with supplier 5 to see that if we have supplier number or number 3. I'm sure that we have number 3. Let's hit save, and let's see. It's not my SAP is not is not loading too much. So sending this JSON to the HTTP request, this will build another will create another PO inside of SAP. Error code. Let's copy paste to see if maybe it doesn't have the supplier. Let's see what the code there. So you have the option also to I think I don't have that supplier. Let's go to SAP to see if supplier. Let's put a pause here. So I run it again with supplier 10. And with supplier 10, we have a positive answer. You can see here that instead of error, how we returned last time, so, in this way, he returned with the new purchase order created. So with the purchase order created and on 4. So let's go to SAP to the purchase order. Let's hit a refresh. And you see that we have a new purchase order that it's with supplier 10, and we have 100 components. So quantity is 100. I don't change the TG. So here basically on the yeah, let's try something. Let's try to add another item. Let's try to add another item. Let's put it like this. Okay. So let's put TG11, TG20, schedule line 20, or 2. Let's put that it's 20. Let's put here 50 on this one. The quantity. Net price, I will let it the same because okay. Let's put, I don't need this one. Schedule so from what I know, I don't need this stuff. So here basically we'll create a new order with 2 items. Let's do let's remove this because we need just between these two. Let's go and say to ChatGPT what I write here. So here I say to him to make this a string variable in valued in VB.NET. Make this a string variable value in VB.NET, and he will make all the stuff for me. Shift Enter, Control V. Let's say run. So ChatGPT define all this stuff for me. I'll say copy. I will go to UiPath. I will go here and we change all this code. Control V. And we put our string. And this will create an item, PO item, with 2 elements. Yeah. It's saved. There will be an order with 2 items, and each item one will have 50 quantity, and the other one will have 20 quantity. You see that we have the correct answer. We don't have an error. And if we go back and hit refresh, we have the PO order number 5. It's ending with 5. And we have the supplier with end with 1, and we have 2 items. One with 50 elements and one with 20 elements. And one is TG10 and one is TG11. Okay? So in this way, I was able to create a PO with multiple items. As usual, if you like my movies, please subscribe to my channel, comment to my movies, and tell me what else you want to see on my channel. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe. Have a good one. Bye-bye.